Final topic today, Cart. This comes from a Kevin Sweeney tweet. It's about time we get Kevin Sweeney's tweets back on the program. We do this like once a week at this point, I feel like, and I always am entertained by it. CBB Central, for those that don't follow Kevin Sweeney, you should be following Kevin Sweeney. He had a tweet today that I want to get your thoughts on. It's one of our favorite high school players in the country and another one of our favorite high school players in the country. AJ Dybantsa got the #1 spot in On3's 2025 updated rankings. They ranked the top 150 players in the country. AJ Dybantsa holds down the #1 ranking, which I think is like conventional wisdom. Everybody believes that's correct. Not so fast, Kevin Sweeney. Kevin Sweeney with the quote tweet comes in from the heavens and says AJ Dybantsa is a pretty special prospect, but I think we'll look back in 2 years' time and wonder how Cam Boozer wasn't the consensus #1 player in the class. He then followed that up with another tweet that said, obviously Dybantsa fits the big wing mold everyone wants, and his NBA star potential might be a bit higher than Boozer's. But I think getting Cam Boozer's ridiculous productivity would be getting overlooked because he's not quite as flashy or highlights friendly, but the dude is a monster. AJ Dybantsa or Boozer? Who's the better player?
Three things here. One, Kevin Sweeney needs to change his Twitter name. That CBB Central name is ass. Two, AJ Dybantsa is better than Boozer. Three, both of those guys are really, really good. Dybantsa, I think, is like an NBA all-star like level wing type, while Cam Boozer, I think, is really good, but more so strikes me as like end up being like Wendell Carter than being like Paolo Banchero.
I don't know how to feel about ends up being like Wendell Carter. I feel like that's meant as a diss, even if you
It's
didn't
not.
intend
Wendell
it.
Carter's pretty good.
Yeah, is Cam Boozer supposed to be pretty good?
Really good. Wendell Carter was a top 10 pick.
Okay, so now do a comp for Dybantsa.
I mean, Dybantsa could be like insert any like star NBA wing here.
So one's Wendell Carter and one's any NBA star wing here.
I mean, the comp that I brought up for Dybantsa when we originally did this video is Tracy McGrady. But that's pretty high praise.
Okay, I mean, does this matter?
Like I said, it's actually a conversation. So like I'm not going against what Sweeney's saying. I think there is a conversation to be had. And like the scenario that he brought up, I could see a world where that happens, right? Like there could be some other players he could throw in there, and I'm like, okay, I think you're just trying to be like a little bit edgy or like go against the norm. I don't think that you can argue with the fact that Boozer has been this productive player throughout his whole high school career. And maybe because he's not that wing guard type, there's a little bit less like maybe attention paid to his game. But I just have no doubts about Dybantsa, to be honest with you. And maybe I need to contact Sweeney offline. It's just feeling a little anti-Mormon in my eyes. Like if he's attacking the people of Utah, if he's attacking my Provo people, I'm not going to let that happen. I'm not going to let that slide. We've been donned honorary Latter-day Saints by our YouTube comments, and we're going to carry that pride. And we're not going to let people down talk us like this.
The thing is, like, I wish you were kidding. You're not kidding at all. Like you have been donned, as have I, an honorary Latter-day Saint per our YouTube comments, and you are serious that you are going to take that very seriously.
100%.
This does feel like this really does feel like Kevin Sweeney's getting in his Gavoni bag for maybe the first time ever. And if you don't know Kevin Sweeney, he kind of does like to play the agent game, like what do I really want to do? I love my Sports Illustrated job. I really do. I love writing. It's great. But like I'm kind of an agent too. I know all these coaches, I know all these players. That's not a diss. Kevin Sweeney's a genius. I love him. He's my agent. But the thing about the agent game is like you can be bought. You're really telling me it's a coincidence that AJ Dybantsa sets up an official visit with BYU and the next day Kevin Sweeney's like, wait just a second. Cameron Boozer might be better. Yeah. That feels like an odd time.
Yeah, it is. Especially, you know what? I think Sweeney just needs to accompany us to our pilgrimage to Provo, and he'll see. He hasn't felt it yet.
I don't know if Nico Medved's private jet flies through Provo. I don't know if that's a thing he can.
Is Cam Boozer going to be a Ram?
What? It's hard to know because we don't know where they're gonna go still. They could play on the same team for all we know. I'd be shocked. But AJ Dybantsa and Cam Boozer, who averages more in college? Who's the better player?
AJ Dybantsa.
Because he's gonna be like on his own team that needs more from him, or because he's the better player?
Because he is the better player.
Who's a better NBA player?
AJ Dybantsa.
How many NBA All-Star teams does AJ Dybantsa make?
8.
How many NBA All-Star teams does Cameron Boozer make?
3.
How many All-Star teams does Caden Boozer make?
0.
Okay. I'm good with those answers.